Can we save before we take any steps? Maybe. Maybe not.
Pre-final! Count Monnier, representing the Skellige faction, shall face Geralt of Rivia, also playing with a Skellige deck.
My brother's dream has come true. Skellige in the final, and played by both.
Yep, or not.
Good luck.
Okay, so we did get extremely lucky with both of our hands in the previous matches. I think we do remove Decoy here, though, because Skellige does not have any spies. The only spy that he could theoretically play would be Mysterious Elf, and that's a hero, so we can't steal it. That means the Decoy is pretty useless to us. Scorch, I think, is particularly effective against Skellige because most of the big cards are going to have the same value coming from, coming from Ceres, the young Vildkarls, who else? Other Type Bond units. So I think if anything, we would add additional Scorches. Might not be a bad idea. I think we might want to bring in... I mean, obviously it has the potential to backfire on us, but with good timing, should be able to make that work. The other question would be for leader abilities. You know, if they also have Croc, then that means that they could potentially mess with our go-to strategy. If they don't, then we can make it work. But I think Croc against Croc is very hard to plan around, and in which case we might need to go King Bran. But or it might be better to go King Bran. Maybe we stick with Croc though, and you know, if he also is running Croc, then we just deal with it, and it's not going to be much of a factor for us. And if he's running King Bran, then great. I think we just add a Scorch. And then that's probably it. Let's go for this. Right, we removed the Decoy. Let's try this. Okay, they are Croc. Bow and Camby and Berna. A little concerned about Berna against Croc. Uh-oh. Oh no. 2 young Berserkers and no Martyrum. Oh no, this hand is atrocious. 2 young Berserkers, no Martyrum. 3 Shield Maidens with Ceres. This is atrocious. This hand is completely botched. Also, Berna may be useless against Croc. We have potentially 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 useless cards. We can fix some of them, but not all of them. We could... But does Ceres bring them from the graveyard as well? Or are you just saying, like, have the faction ability kick in round 3? Deck and hand. Yeah, just like normal muster. Yeah. So if we... Wait. No, we wouldn't want to play the Shield Maidens. We want to play the Shield Maidens in round 2, not round 1. We play whatever in round 1, activate Croc at the beginning of round 2, then play the Shield Maidens at the rest of round 2. That means our leader ability would be guaranteed to bring back the Shield Maidens for round 3, and then our remaining Shield Maiden, or however many we have still in our deck, would get summoned when we keep Ceres and play her in round 3. When do they go... Oh, true. No, they go back into our deck with Croc. They don't just get banished, as standalone Gwent terminology, which is kind of the frame of mind I had. That is right. They do actually go back in our deck, which is significant. That does mean that Ceres could then resummon them. Okay. Perhaps all is not lost. Perhaps all is not lost. We do, in fact, in that case, want to play the Shield Maidens in round 1, and then Croc in round 2, beginning of round 2. And that means Saris either in round 2 after that or in round 3 can work. Okay, I think that's the plan then. That means we can keep all the Shield Maidens, and that's a big help because getting rid of 3 cards, we can't do that. So that was looking like that was going to be a brick. Then I think that means we're either dumping both Young Berserkers, assuming we won't get a Martyrum, or we are swapping out Berna, assuming that Croc is going to make it hard to make her work. And we just see what we get, and if we don't like what we get the first time, we swap it out again. Yeah, that's ultimately what I said, was we play the Shield Maidens in round 1, use Croc, that puts them back in the deck, and then Saris brings them back. Yes. Because they do not get banished. Which is what the way I was thinking of it previously. That is not correct. They do not get banished. Therefore, it is safe to play them in round 1. It's just a matter of Young Berserkers versus Berna. I am nervous about the Young Berserkers. Let's swap them, and of course, if we get a single Martyrum, like, if this first one swaps into Martyrum, maybe we keep this and swap out Berna. Okay, Longship, let's get rid of the other Berserker then. This is too much of a risk that we don't get a Martyrum. And it is a Martyrum. Of course it is. Of course it is. Okay, so we go first. We do want to play the Shield Maidens. And ideally, we're also playing the Cow and Camby. So I think we're going for... I think those are maybe all of our cards in round 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, possibly in that order. Okay, and they have Young Berserkers. Do they have the Martyrum? Okay, so let's go with this. Okay. That is the combo that we had, but with no Martyrum. And that is an important factor. Do they have it or do they not? So now we go Shield Maidens. And we've got a lot of Berserkers. Do they have Martyrum? Okay, so now those Berserkers can get destroyed, which we would rather not have happen. We can play Siri. That's also safe to play in round 1. But we definitely want to get all of you down there to set up future Saris plays. They pass. That's huge. Okay. Whew. Okay, I was nervous about round 1 because now we at least have that flexibility. Now we know we can set up Saris with the Croc. Is there anything else we want to make sure that we get the chance to play before doing Croc? Anything we want to basically delete? If we Croc at the beginning of round 2, that means we're going to want to play some bronze units to, in order to at least have something trigger with our faction ability. We can do that with the Longship. Do that with Berna. I'm not sure Berna's going to have anything to bring back, though. So Berna, as kind of anticipated, might end up being a bit of a dead card here, but I think either way, we are passing here. It's mostly just a question of what is our plan for the rest of round 2 here. So, we have all these Shield Maidens in our graveyard. We put them back in our deck with Croc. That means that Saris can resummon them. That's why that combo works. So let's use Croc here. And we do have the double transforming cards. Oh, they're going Saris in round 2. That's aggressive. Now, this is why I wanted the Scorch. We didn't end up getting one in our hand. But this would be a really nice way to counter this. So, I mean, we're definitely not trying to win round 2 after they do that. I'm very happy to see them basically waste this. And, however, it does mean that they are now guaranteed to get 2 of these Shield Maidens back with their faction ability in in round 3, which will be what? What is their starting strength? Is it 3? Then it went to 6, and then it got doubled from 6 to 12 again. In which case, there'll be 6 apiece, which is not that bad. But it is still a decent combo. I think we definitely at least want to play this so that we get the additional card coming back with our faction ability. And it might bait our opponent into continuing to play more cards here, and we would love for them to play other bronze units to make it so that they aren't guaranteed to get the double shield maiden combo. That way the type bond might not trigger. They start off as 4. Yeah, I thought they were 4, but then it's... Oh, so it goes 4 to 8, and then it becomes... The 8 doesn't get doubled again to 16, it just gets... It gets multiplied by 3 in total. Okay. Let's play this. Could even martyr him just to play a dead card and try to bait them into committing more to round 2, even though we know they have this. Yeah, like, we would love for them to get this, well, really any of their muster cards instead of the Shield Maidens in, for their faction ability triggering in round 3. So that's why we're doing this. We don't have anything to bring back with Verna here, although if we play her, she will come back in round 3, so there's no reason to play her. There's also no reason not to play her, other than that it does mean, well, I think again, if we can continue to bait our opponent into committing other cards that they'd like to save for round 3, or can interrupt the Shield Maiden combo with the faction ability in round 3, then that would be useful. So I think we do play Burner, even though she's not really helping us in this round. It is just to force our opponent into doing something here. Like, Olgierd, it's probably fine that they played him. I think we'd be okay with him coming back with their faction ability. So now I think we pass. We could play Siri, but I don't think we want to do that. We could play Martyr because it does nothing. And further bait them into doing stuff. But... how do we feel about that? How do we feel about that? We could stall with it. I suppose it's not like we have anything like Scorch that we're trying to... I mean, we don't have Scorch, so we don't have anything that we have to time very well. Other than we'd like to wait as long as possible in round 3 to play Ceres. Because, let's see, if we pass here, if we have the same number of cards as our opponent, they'll play first because they won the round. That means we'll have last say, and we play Ceres with our last card, so they don't have any way to Scorch her. We want to make sure that happens. But if we play Martyr and they still respond with a card of their own, then that should still be doable. It's just a matter of, do they get clever and assume that they have a large enough lead that they don't need to play anything. It's a risk. Let's try it. We need them to play something here. They don't. Oh, that hurts. Now they can counter Ceres. They can counter. So we paid for that. So the reason why we were hoping to do that was, again, to bait out more cards for them. The reason why this hurts is because now they will have the last card played in this match, which means even if we play Ceres last, they can still use their Scorch to remove all our shield mains, which would probably mean they win. They do also have their leader ability, which does take a turn, so if they wanted to do that, then that would actually have meant they could have gotten last say anyway, so maybe for that reason it's not the end of the world, but it did backfire a bit. I don't think Ceres was enough. Ceres plus Siri was enough for us there. Could have done the math to double check. Okay, and we got cards back. Oh, that's what we wanted to not have happen. That's why we were baiting them, was to lower the probability of this happening. Oh, now you're gonna use Yen to bring back the other shield maiden, right? Fortunately not. Fortunately not. Okay, so now we play Ceres. Or we play Siri, rather. We still wait on Ceres. But this is making me nervous. Okay, this is their leader ability, which should be fine. Okay, so this is our big play here. If they have Scorch, we lose. If they don't have Scorch or a Dragon, then we... or melee nerf, then we... we have enough heroes. Even with the melee nerf, we might still win. But I'm nervous. This is not guaranteed by any means. What do they have? They have Scorch. We lost. Oh no! They don't have anything else they can play? What? Even with the Scorch, we still beat them. Oh, no way. No way. I thought they had us. I really thought they had us with that Scorch. I assumed they had at least something they could have played for some points there. If they had basically anything, they would have won with that last card, but apparently not. Don't know what it was. It was a second Scorch, maybe? That would have removed one of their cards? Or a Martyrdom with nothing to convert? Not sure, but somehow we still got the victory there. That is perhaps the second match in this tournament that we've gotten away with a win that we probably didn't deserve.
Congratulations! The best man has won, playing the best faction to boot.
Thanks. Good game.
Skellige won. What a bundle of pish. Tournament's not done. Now it's my turn.
That is what we agreed. Let us resolve our differences here and now.
Now to determine the ultimate victor. Geralt of Rivia, playing the Skellige faction, shall face Yaki Raffiberg, playing...
Scoia'tael, maybe? Yeah. Understandable.
Let the better man or dwarf win.
One of the two factions we hadn't faced, and also, you know, it's a dwarf, so it made some sense thematically. Okay. So if it's Scoia'tael, they have a lot of medics, so we are absolutely using Croc. Croc is a pretty strong counter to that. We deliberately loaded up on Scorches against Skellige because, as we saw them do against us in the previous match, very good against Skellige. But I don't think it's nearly as good against Scoia'tael. There's a... Well, there are some muster units. There are some muster units we could potentially use Scorch against. But they aren't going to be as strong as the huge, like, Ceres Shield Maiden plays that we have on our side. So, for that reason, there's still some risk of Scorch backfiring on us. I think we probably get rid of one of these Scorches. Because if we get two in our hand, that's going to be quite tough to deal with. Definitely keeping Craw, and anything else, like Scoia'tael Spies? They don't have any, do they? I think it's just the Mysterious Elf, in which case we obviously can't steal that because it's a hero. So I think we leave out the decoys. Weather effects, I think, are tough. Scoia'tael's good at maneuvering around them, so no reason to add those. I think we leave it at this. Okay, they go first. That's actually a disadvantage, so that's fine. Mysterious Elf, that's big. Dandelion depends. Okay, Double Young Berserker makes me nervous. Do we have Martyrdom? Oh my god. Don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. Oh no. Oh no. What do we do with this? It's similar to what we saw in the previous match, except last time at least we had Ceres. This time, no Ceres in sight. So, I mean, we can certainly swap out some cards and hope we get her. But I think for that reason, we probably... Without a Ceres, I think we keep the Shield Maidens, and if we do happen to draw into her, then we'll do what we did last time and play the Shield Maidens in round 1, so that they go back into our deck instead of the Super Ceres play in round 2 or 3. And I think we have to keep the long ships, because that might be one of our few effective combos here. Olaf, you're probably gonna go in the melee row with the Shield Maidens. Young Berserkers, I'm thinking are probably the ones that go here because we don't have a Martyrdom, and that is too much of a risk, then we don't get one. Last time, found ourselves in the same situation. We said to ourselves, we swap out one of them. If we have a Martyrdom with that card, then maybe we keep the other Young Berserker. If not, then we dump the other Young Berserker. So I think same rule applies here. You're kidding. Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay, let's get rid of a Young Berserker. Why don't we? It's the other Shield Maiden. Okay, well, we do have 3 Shield Maidens. There is something to be said for that. We do have the Mysterious Elf, so we can draw additional cards here. Okay. Huh. How the heck do we play this? We want to go Shield Maidens in round 1. But I don't want to lead off with them because if they have Scorch, we don't have any way of getting them back until round 3. And we'd rather not have to rely on that. Is there any reason why we can't play the Mysterious Elf early? Because I'd love to play him to see if we get Ceres or see if we get a Martyrdom. Because both of those things could be game-changing. I think we do that. I think we do that because we don't need to. It's not like we have any musters here. So yeah, I think we start with you. And fingers crossed for something that fixes this hand. We got Ceres. We got Ceres. Okay, that's huge. Okay, speaking of huge, that's going to be a pretty huge melee row, and I so wish that we had one of those Scorches right now. This is exactly what I was thinking of when I was saying maybe we could use one. They do have some muster units, but, So now it is safe, at least to play the first 2 of the Shield Maidens. So let's do that. Then I think, just planning ahead here, without a Martyrdom, we're going to want to play the Young Berserker in round 1. That way we're putting him back in our deck, and we have no risk of getting him back in round 2. Which cards do we want to get back in round 2? Either the double Longships, or a Longship plus Olaf. Although we don't have control over which row Olaf comes back in. We'd really love for it to be the melee row. Dandelion actually would be really good as well. Because we know, at least in theory, we're saving Ceres for round 3. So we could do something similar to what they did here. Have a Dandelion, then a muster in the melee row, albeit a muster that is stronger than this muster they have right now. So I think that means, backtracking a bit, we're going all Shield Maidens in round 1. We're going Young Berserker, and potentially even the Longships as well. And Ceres, or rather, Ciri and Hjalmar, those guys are flexible, doesn't matter when we play them. Okay, I mean, you're just loading up on the melee row right now. And that would break the Scorch if we had one, but again, we don't. Although that does actually, does protect us a little bit from them using Scorch, because we play... Oh, no. Well, there's also that kind of Scorch. There's also that kind of Scorch. Lovely. So... we want to get rid of you. We will play our other Shield Maiden, eventually. They're going to pass, okay. And we want to dump you anyway, so it is basically a throwaway card that we want to delete from existence. So we definitely play the Shield Maiden because we need to have them all go back into our deck to help Ceres. It actually doesn't matter if it's in our hand versus in our deck. I guess it technically doesn't matter at this point. The other thing is I would like to get rid of these guys as well. Put them back in our deck and not have the risk of them showing up at the beginning of round 3, because I think we would strongly prefer Dandelion and Olaf. So that does mean that it would be nice to dump them here. But that means we're basically just throwing away cards for the sake of throwing away cards. Alternatively, we get a little clever with Croc, and we don't play him immediately in round 2. We instead play these guys and then... Does that work? No, that doesn't work. We would need to wait to play Croc at the beginning of round 3, and then that doesn't work either. So yeah, if we want to get rid of these guys, we need to play them now. Well, the reason... It does make some sense. There is some reasoning to it. It's not completely illogical. The reason is because that way we guarantee getting back some of our best cards for round 3. Then again, if we keep them in our hand, we still have them? Yeah, I suppose. They did also have to muster from their hand a bit there. Notice how they're on 6 cards at this point. And they are going to medic. And they do go first here, so they do have the chance to actually medic. And that's a silly dragon play, but... getting rid of Dandelion is somewhat meaningful. Yeah, so we want to get you back in our deck. So, we do proc here. And they're going to push hard, I think, in round 2. Because we are on the back foot, having lost round 1. And, for that reason, so now is when we would like to play... Probably... So we can't play the Shield Maiden. Otherwise, she will not be usable in round 3. So that's a no-go. Obviously, we'd like to save Ceres. The cards I would like to play would be Dandelion and Olaf, because then those are the cards that we can benefit from this round, then also get back in round 3. Ciri is also just one card that's better than all the cards they have combined. So, given how they have a pretty big card disadvantage here, despite them pushing hard at the beginning of this round, I think they're going to pass soon. We might be able to dissuade them a bit by playing Ciri. Then Ciri doesn't come back, whereas these guys do. Let's go Dandelion first, then Olaf. That way, Dandelion sets up a big Olaf in our next turn. Dandelion himself is not scorchable, whereas Olaf would be. Okay, so I think they might pass here. They do. Okay. We set up the Olaf, and then the reason why we do this is because this is enough to pass them here, and then now we're guaranteed to get both of these back, and these are cards we definitely want to get back in round 3. So this should work well for us. So there they are, although, albeit Olaf is just asking to be scorched right now. So, now... I mean, play Ciri. I mean, even if they scorch here, which they will, as long as they don't do that to all of our Shield Maidens. Actually, would our Shield Maidens have been higher than Olaf in that situation? Don't remember. But that means that in theory those Shield Maidens should be pretty safe now. But we go Hjalmar now, and we basically just stall in case they do have any forms of removal remaining. At this point, it would get rid of Dandelion, which would be... I mean, we'd like to keep him because he would be doubling those Shield Maidens. But let's play you guys. Next, we could even play just a single Shield Maiden rather than going straight into Ceres. It's a little bit slower. Because if we play this, then it's scorchable. I mean, we should have this now. The numbers are definitely in our favor, even if this is a scorch with their last card. If it is, they can now use it. It is. Okay, but we're still in the lead here, and we still have our biggest card to play. Is their leader ability melee Scorch, though? What is their leader ability? Can they remove these guys? I mean, even if they can. Then we still have enough heroes that we still pass them. Don't remember what it was. Yes, it would have destroyed all of them, in fact, but it was not enough. It was basically a dragon leader ability, which would have destroyed all of those shield maidens, but even with that, we still would have beaten them, so... Tense, yes, that tournament, but even with some, at the beginning, very good hands, but toward the end, very questionable hands, found a way to make it work.
Thanks. Good game.
Bollock blusters! What hurts most is fucking Skellige one! But as they say, tough shite. Congrats! Come on, lads! Let's get soused!
No, you must stay, for I wish to treat you all to a tickle. We must toast the premier of the new faction. And if anyone wishes to play a friendly match of GWENT, I see no reason why not. Thank you for everything, Witcher.
Went a little bit off the rails playing the protesters at the end, but no problem. Don't worry about it, man.
You proved yourself a true
Yeah, I could have.
GWENT master.
That I was considering that playing the shield main first and then Ceres, but at the end it didn't matter.
You earned it.
I ran the numbers, even with the Scorch we had it.
Thank you very much, Count.
Thank you once more for deigning to take part in my little tournament. I hope we shall meet again.
The Victor's Cup.
Farewell.
All right, so GWENT tournament complete. We have succeeded. Some close calls for sure, but we did in fact pull off the victory.
And our knights, what are they? Chopped liver?
Okay, and we did pick up that trophy as well. We could potentially even bring that trophy back home.
Rolling on an empty stomach. Oh, dreadful.
Yeah, I'm thinking, At this point, we have just the Knights for Hire, which is more or less just exploring around. We have, did we have to... Oh, we did have to, undo Spontaneous Profits when we were resetting for the GWENT tournament. So that one does still need to be completed. But other than that is primarily main quest time, I would think. So it's just a question of, once we go back to the main quest, do we want to go... So from what I understand, this is the second to last of the sort of chunks of main quest. So do we want to go from penultimate straight into ultimate main quest quests? Or do we feel like we want to break it up a little bit by throwing in some Knight for Hire in between, or Spontaneous Profits in between? That one's obviously pretty brief. Do we want to go all out main quest at the very end? Or do we want to split it up a little bit? I think this main quest and then break it up a little bit and finish up with the main quest after that. Okay. Let's take a look at our map again. In terms of places we've not yet explored, is it pretty much just northwest corner? And we'll do all that stuff when we're doing Knight for Hire. I think that's the case. I think we have resolved everything else by the looks of things. Yeah. So in that case, I think it's time to get dressed up. Okay, so yeah, let me make sure that I'm going to the right one, because I was starting to go to the wrong one, in fact. Custom marker means north. So he wants the fancy schmancy clothes. He is the idea. And then we will be joining the Duchess to attend this soiree of sorts. What exactly is going to happen there remains to be seen, but we've heard about this Cintrian person
Long live Duchess Anna Henrietta.
who is, at the very least, someone who is coordinating with the one who's sabotaging and blackmailing Petloff. If not, may even be the primary person doing that. But my impression is that they're a middleman. Okay, so we need to consult with... Wait. It, like... It's 9:43 p.m. Are you not working now? Oh, there you are. Okay. Excuse me, you don't work at 9:43 p.m.? We would like to try something on.
All jests aside, let me see what you got in your wardrobe.
I'm more than willing, sir.
Okay. So we need fancy clothing, and I think we've already used, I believe, all that stuff, so we gotta go with the elegant Beauclair doublets, right? That's the new stuff. And then same with the elegant boots. Elegant Beauclair boots. Are these the... Huh. They're the same preview. Beauclair trousers and the Nilfgaardian trousers. But these are in theory new. So let's go for those. And then I think we have all of these masks. We still have them on us? Can we use a different mask of some variety? King Foltest's mask, or the ears, or do we have the other ones? Because, I mean, we did at some point. We may have put them back in our stash. We may have put them back in our stash. Also, can we just, like, sell this stuff to you? I think we can. I think we may need to pick up masks again. We have the bunny mask as well? Do we? I mean, we picked it up a while ago, but I'm not... Are some of them grayed out? Some of them might be redded out here. Some of them might be. Might be a little bit misleading. No? Not seeing it here, at least. Unless it's under... Oh, but that one's under quest items, right? Are they all under quest items? They might be. Okay. They're all here. They're all here. Even the Teshamutna mask. Can we use this? Maybe. Yeah, here's the hair mask. With the Tourney Champion laurels. I mean, I'm not sure we're disguising ourselves at all with that, but ceremonial mask. Okay, we got plenty. Plenty of masks, including all of the ones that this person is selling. So we are fine in that regard. We are fine. What is this, though? Better from opponents of new Gwent faction. Oh, right. That. We read it. Okay. So I think we should be good now.
Thanks. I think that's all I need for now.
Ever your servant, sir.
Okay. So let us sport our new attire. These are the new boots. Are the pants any different from the Skellige pants? They might be. No new gloves, though. No new gloves. Yeah, the gloves aren't working for me. I guess people don't wear fancy gloves to these types of parties. No silk gloves? What? Come on. Other than that, what mask do we don? I mean, previously, I assume we are supposed to wear a mask. For a previous party, we wore this mask and wore it for quite some time. But does this one even work? I don't know if we've ever used this. Not a huge fan of that. That looks quite boring. Got this one that is slightly less boring, or at least it does complements our dark attire. It's more, it fits the color scheme a little bit better. Do we have anything else hiding down here? I don't think so. I think all the masks are up near the top. The wolf mask. That looks decent. That mask kind of matches the gold on our sleeves. And then there is this mask. Oh, don't forget the bunny as well. There's the bunny. I don't know. Not a huge fan of the bunny mask, to tell you the truth. There's also this, but I don't think this counts. Probably doesn't. This looks the most regal. The one we have on right now, I would argue. But why can't we just wear the ears and the elf head? The overripe elf head? That one we put back in our stash, I think. I mean... right? Just like the good old days. And my goodness, I mean, at this point, how long ago was that?
Patrolling on an empty stomach.
Possibly as much as a year ago, or close to it.